Hello everyone, today is the 15th of October 2015 and I didn't vlog today, so I'm making it up by doing a little video at the end of the day before I go to bed, as I've done in many previous videos. Today I'm going to talk about 3 news stories that I found a little interesting today. So the first one, let's begin. Now the first one comes from a place in China called Hangzhou, and this one is a man. Let me just show you the picture. Okay, so as you can see, that guy has something coming out of his ass, and that is a miniature toy sword. Why is a miniature toy sword in a guy's ass, you ask? Well, the man was trying to cut off his own piles. Yeah, the guy was trying to cut off his own piles with a toy sword, and he was squatting over a mirror so he could see, and then while he was squatting, I guess he lost his balance or his legs gave in, and he just sat on this sword. So the sword drove straight up his ass, and yeah, that was the situation. So now he's in the hospital. They were able to remove the sword and control the bleeding. He will live to tell the tale. Yeah, so what would you do if you had piles? Would you try and cut it out yourself? I know if I had piles, I'll go to the doctor. I would not try to consider putting something up there to try and sort it out by myself. No, thank you. And the second story comes from Oregon in the US, and this is about a man who found an entire rat, a whole rat, in his Subway sandwich. Absolutely disgusting. I don't know, guys. What do? You know when you buy a sandwich, do you always open it up to look inside? Because I don't sometimes. Sometimes I just buy a sandwich and I don't even think to look inside. I just buy it, eat it without even looking. Sometimes I bite it and I don't even look where I've just bitten. I just eat and continue eating. So if I was that guy, I probably wouldn't even realize that there was a rat in there. I might, I don't know what a rat tastes like. I'm assuming it doesn't taste like chicken or salami or whatever other meat he ordered, but I don't know. If it didn't have any strange particular taste, any special taste about it, then maybe I'd be one of those people who just doesn't notice that I'm eating a rat while everyone else is looking at me from across the office like this. They want to tell me, but they just don't dare open their mouth. Oof. I don't know, what do you do? Would you have noticed if you were this guy? And what would you have done if you were this guy and you noticed that there was a rat in your sandwich? Next story. I don't know about you guys, but when I travel, sometimes I like to travel with a budget airline. Just because I don't need the luxury of a premium airline. Just a low-cost airline, a budget airline, just to get me from A to B. It's maybe 2 hours away or an hour and a half. I don't need a big seat, lots of legroom. I don't need it. I don't need to pay the extra. So sometimes I like to use a budget airline. But sometimes when you use a budget airline, you need to think that everything is cheap. And that means that everything is cheap. Even the plane. This guy was flying, I don't know where, like maybe somewhere in Chile, when the plane he was traveling in started to fall apart during midair. So 2 huge panels fell off from the engine while it was taking off. That's not the kind of thing you want to see when you are taking off in a plane, looking out the window, and you say, oh, there goes my engine. It's not what you want to see, is it? How do you guys travel? Do you travel by budget airline, or do you go all out and pay the full price all the time and go and fly with a premium airline? I like the premium airlines, don't get me wrong, but sometimes it's just not worth it. And the last thing I want to talk about today is your new iPhone, for those of you with a new iPhone. I bought the iPhone 6S Plus, and I just want to talk about the battery life. For me, I think it's absolutely fine. But there's a lot of people on the internet talking about how to extend the battery life. For me, it lasts like a full day, and that probably doesn't sound very good, but I use the phone a lot. I take a lot of pictures, lots of videos. I'm always on the internet, always on, YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, everything. I'm using the phone all the time. So for me, for it to last from like early morning 8 a.m. to late at night 11:30 without needing to be recharged, that's a long time for me. So I don't really need a lot of these other tips about extending battery life, but there's a lot of people sharing, so I just thought I'd share too. If you turn on the low power mode when it's on a full charge, you can extend the battery life apparently by up to 4 or 5 hours, which is pretty impressive for those of you who the battery just isn't enough for. I don't know what you guys are doing differently to me, but yeah. Anyway, so turn on low power mode all the time if you need to extend the battery by 4 hours. Anyway, that's the end of this video. It's too many things to talk about, actually. I look in the newspapers and I'm just like this. Really? Wow, no way. Oh my god, I can't believe it. And that's all I do all day when I look at the news. There's too many stories that I haven't got enough time to talk about in this little video. So I will see you tomorrow. Tomorrow hopefully will be a normal vlog. and hope you've had a good day, and hope you have a good night, and see you on the 16th. Bye bye.